and just want to give my comments regarding this S1000R. It is different than the K13. And what can I say? It's a lot more agile than the K1300. I don't know if it's quicker off the throttle. It feels like it is, but the K13 feels smoother off the throttle, and it feels like it's got more than this bike. This bike has got lots below 100 miles an hour, but the K13 feels like it's got a lot more above 100 miles an hour. Not that I want to be driving around over 100 miles an hour, but it's just an observation. A couple of things I like about this bike so far, I've probably ridden about 10 miles maximum, is I like the cable clutch. I've never really observed hydraulic clutch versus cable clutch before. I've just known that my Buell is smoother changing gears, and my K13 feels a bit jerky, and I think I've realised today that that's probably because of the cable seems smoother. Of course, it's got quick shifter, so I don't always use the quick shifter, I must admit. I'm just so old school. I'm so used to changing gears by clutch without the gear shift. Even on my K13 I'm the same. I rarely use the quick shift. Sounds noisier than my K13, same exhaust, right, different shape, different size, but obviously this is a smaller can, so it's going to be louder. The brakes on this feels much better. I won't say much better, a little bit better. They feel sharper. Now, brand new bikes feel sharp anyway. As they get older, the sharpness seems to dull down. That's probably the pads, but I'm a GS adventurer. The pads don't seem to be as sharp as they once were. Hopefully that'll change with a new set of pads in the future. Riding position seems very similar, surprisingly, to my K13. I am still over a bit on the tank. I thought it would be more upright. The K13 doesn't have traditional forks like this bike, and I think I prefer traditional forks, if I'm honest, than the K13. Looks wise, I like the K13 looks. It looks like a beast. It looks planted. The looks on this are nice. I think for me, I like the red. So red bikes always sell it for me. I'm not keen on the chain. I just don't like chains. I know most bikes have a chain, but I don't like chains. I prefer the drive any day. But of course, being a chain bike, it's lighter, and it's going to help with the overall quickness of the bike. Not really had a chance to get used to the modes at the moment, so I'm still playing around with that. But what I seem to feel is when it's in rain mode, it's nice and easy. There's no snatchiness to the acceleration, but the power's still there. It's not like you lose power. It doesn't feel like you lose power. Doing 30s, 40s, 50s, it's still there, but it's tamed down. That's how it feels. In road mode, there seems to be more mid-range, and in dynamic mode, it seems flat in the mid-range, and then when you get past a certain sort of rev range, certain sort of speed, it then comes into a zone, and it feels like the power has been moved to the upper speeds rather than the mid speeds. Of course, the mid speeds is where most of the riding is done. I wouldn't take my bikes on the track. I'm not really interested in track riding. Not sure how this is helping, because this is the first bike, first S1000 I've ridden, so I don't know how much of a difference this add-on screen makes. But it looks okay. The mirrors are okay. As with all bikes with mirrors, you just get a little bit of mirror here to see behind. All this is your body, and likewise on the other mirror. Love the electronics. I like, I'm going to stay at the wind so I don't get noise on the recording, but the cruise control works very well. Slide it across, set it, and it stops when you brake or when you throttle off. Turn the throttle that way, it cancels. I haven't figured out the trip in that. It does not have tire pressure gauge on this bike, so you're relying upon checking your tire pressures manually. That's a bit of a disadvantage. I've got used to having GS's with tire pressure gauges and BMWs. It is handy. I must admit, I don't have a routine where I check my bike before I go out. I tend to jump on them and go. Alright, perhaps that's the wrong way, but that's how I tend to ride my bikes, and it's good to check the tire pressure on the dash rather than having to fiddle around with trying to get. And also, just looking at this bike, on the K13 you've got the valve sticking out towards you as opposed to sticking up. Sticking out towards you is so much easier to change the pressure. That's awkward. That's awkward. And yes, there we go. That's awkward as well. Putting air in your tyres. The K13 was brilliant. So, I don't know. At this stage, this bike feels lighter. It feels sporty, very sporty. Feels light, very agile. Good for all types of riding. The K13 feels like it needs longer roads, it feels longer, but it definitely feels more planted and it feels smoother. But it feels like this engine is alert. The K13 feels, although there's power there, no question, but it feels like you've got to rev it more. It feels like it takes a little bit longer to get going. I mean, it's a very, very quick bike. How these two compare performance-wise in speed terms, I don't know. But the K13, because it feels like a bigger engine, it feels like it just takes a little bit longer to get going, whereas this is power right off the throttle. So these are just my thoughts. I thought I'd just stop, and I'll stop again to comment later. Taking it back to the dealer now and giving the keys back. I won't be making any commitment to buy this bike at this stage. I'll think about the differences and take it from there.